Could you imagine anything more beautiful? I think a painting could be good.
Hi, I'm Sophia Jessica, and this is Angel, and welcome to the fan carpet.
Can you start with the obvious? Why, as a storyteller, were you so determined to bring this specific story to screen?
Yeah, I mean, I feel like in many ways all paths have led to me telling this film story. In terms of my own journey, also the topography of London in the noughties, the very sort of end of cool Britannia. I'm interested in the emotional and psychological drama of the story. I'm interested in the incongruity of the two main characters, Kate Moss and Lucian Freud, and how they found a connection. I think that's very special and touching. I'm interested in the art, the fashion, the process of making art. All these things come together and make this film Moss and Freud.
And obviously, to make this film with the backing and support of one of your subject matters is a special landmark. Can you talk about the process of wooing Kate through the lost art of letter writing?
Yeah, I mean, listen, I'm an old romantic at heart, and, Kate is a very intelligent person, very learned in terms of art and culture, and she just has great taste. And I thought that's the respectful way to approach Kate Moss, is to write an old-fashioned letter and just outlining who I was, why I wanted to tell this story, and also taking a little bit of a stab at what she may have been feeling in this very pivotal time in her life, in this interesting, transformative chapter of her life.
Can you talk about the decision to eschew the more commonplace form of sort of snapshot biography, sort of the start to grave kind of storytelling, and to focus on this specific this unique chapter of her life?
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I'm not so. I never felt a need to make a greatest hits album. I'd rather make a difficult second or first or debut album, if you see what I mean. And I think I was thinking about her life, and I do feel that this was a very important time in her life. It was a time of change, a time of transformation, a time of finding out what is good, what has meaning in one's life. And I think that's important. Therefore, I thought it would be more interesting to tell a film based around those sort of themes, rather than going, in a very pedantic sort of obvious from A to Z kind of journey. Let's condense it down to what's important. Let's look at what's. Let's bare their souls in a very condensed and intimate and quite intense way.
In terms of that intimacy, can you talk about, I guess starting with Ellie, a performance that is both literally and metaphorically very stripped bare, very vulnerable in places. Can you talk about that collaboration you had with her?
Yes, Ellie, she's incredible. I think she has more than the passing resemblance to Kate. There was times I was watching the monitor and I couldn't really distinguish whether or not it was Kate or Ellie I was looking at. And I think that's really interesting. But getting to know her as well, I actually found she had a lot of similarities with Kate in terms of personality, ambition, boldness, all these different qualities that I feel like they both Ellie and Kate have the same qualities, and therefore I was able to. She understood what it was. She understood the stakes. She understood the role that she was taking on, and she, which is shows how professional and brave she is. She threw herself into the role. She lost herself in the role. She, for all effective purposes, became Kate, and I'm certain of that.
And of course, opposite her, Derek Jacobi is one of the most magnificent talents of stage and screen. Can you talk a little bit about what is special about this performance and why it was important for you to have someone like him, of his status, of his magnitude, opposite Ellie?
Well, we talk about parallels, and we talk about, Ellie was at a similar of a similar age that Kate was within the story. Lucian and Derek also of the same age, a similar age range, and I felt that gave it more gravitas. The fact that, Derek would have been feeling some of the same feelings about mortality and other things besides, as Lucian would have done, and I think it definitely gave it gravitas. And also, but with someone like Derek Jacobi, I was, he's a god to me. He really is. Just, he was talent spotted by Laurence Olivier. He's incredible. I don't think I could have made it without him. I don't think there was another actor out there that could have taken on the role of Lucian Freud in such a way and gave it so much resonance and authenticity. I just sat down in my director's seat, kept my mouth shut, and just learnt from him as much as I could, really, because that's the kind of person you want to learn from. That's the kind of person you want to be.
Just as a director, can you talk a little bit about the visual language of the film? Because I think obviously location and cinematography are such a huge part of this narrative.
Yes, well, it goes without saying it would need to be in a sort of artistic, painterly kind of space, I think. I also referenced a lot of actual media of the time. For instance, the Beetle Bum video by Blur. I love the colours, the saturated colours. It very much reminded me of the time and the place. So I was very adamant that we had to recreate that look in order to give it the right kind of authenticity and realness to really transport our audience back into the end of Cool Britannia as it was.
When audiences here and around the world now get to experience and enjoy this film for themselves, what are you most hoping overall they take away from that cinema experience?
I would like to think that I've given an audience, not only first and foremost is to entertain an audience, and we certainly get that in terms of some of the hedonism, the fashion, the arts, all these sort of things that you'd expect to perhaps see in a Kate Moss film. But also I'm hoping that the audience will be able to go away having taken a peek behind the curtain to understand what made or makes these two cultural titans tick. And also to that point, I think what will be interesting for an audience is to go away and see a commonality in the humanity that they see in these two characters and realise, wow, we're kind of different, but we're kind of the same. And that kind of connectivity, that human connection, is something that really interests me, and I hope the audience takes away with them as well.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. Please follow us on Facebook, X and Instagram for more content. Bye for now.
What happened here is all that matters.
Everybody thinks that I'm okay. Sometimes I think I am too. I'm on the outside looking in. I'm waiting for the shockwaves to begin. Oh, won't you let me hold you for one time? Just a rainy day in a London cafe, a London cafe. So give me one last serenade. Say to me, or swear at me till the night turns into day. And it was a shame when daylight faded, because we didn't notice at all.
Thank you for watching The Fan Carpet. If you like this video, be sure to click that thumbs up button at the bottom of your screen. And also be sure to subscribe to the Fan Carpet YouTube channels. They're absolutely free and so much fun too. Be sure to check out the official website, thefancarpet.com. Also, you can follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and Instagram to stay up to date with reviews, competitions, the latest news, and so much more.